All right, so it's the next day and I'm going to actually turn this and use the isolation on here. So I've just made a copy of it and then I'm just going to get rid of these copper pores that I made. And I'm going to flip this around. Like so. Yeah, because that means that I don't need this, I don't need this whole thing. I don't need any of that, which is pretty cool. But what I will do is put another one here, another lug there. And so that's all still ground. So then this gets right. So that way we can have the top of the coil here as well as the input power. Well, the top of the coil can go here, input power there, right? That is really actually, well, that's drain, that's positive, that's HV out, there's the neons. All of that is great. And so with this being here, now we can use well, I wanted to get more space to put the oscillator there, but I don't think I can do it. Because we're just going to go in with 12 on the isolated side and power everything from there. We'll probably just move this down here then. Like that. Because see, now we can hit 15 here. We can even move this up. Oops. We can move this way. And then our common pad, we could even bring out, see, out negative is going to be on the bottom, right? And we want to leave a little more room here to do a drill. And then we can go on the negative, so that'll be like this. And then we'll bring this, you know what? No, let's not. Let's get rid of this. Let's move this back a bit, just like the other one is. And we'll make these symmetrical. Move this down back to here, so it's nice and symmetrical. And then the 5 volts, the TTL can do, like I could do this. Just do this. I don't know. I think I'm trying to place too many components. The main thing I got to do, out, ground, in, ground, out. That's normal. That's normal. I think I'd rather have this be like this. Have this be that. And okay, so there we go. Now that part's done. So now this is looking pretty cool. Pretty happy with it. We're just gonna add in some more blank spaces here, just to try to cut down on some of the laser work. But I think that's probably fine. And so now I'm comfortable to go ahead and get rid of that. And then we can file save this, and we can bring this over to this way. Try to get it lined up as best we can, but yeah. So that is essentially everything. And so we're going to drive this. We're going to drive this with the prototype oscillator here. and then eventually merge that with this onto one board, which we could do because we could condense all of this. But that's good. Let's just do a, there's the 3D of it, which is, you know, whatever. Functional board though. Yeah, this is cool. All right. So we will just step away for 15 minutes, come back, review everything, make sure we got it right, that we didn't miss anything, and then we will go ahead and laser it up. All right, so we're ready to make this board. I'm just going to go through again quickly what we got. So we have 12 volts coming in here, going to ground. Vias. We need to do this and this, and I think, and here, and I think that's it. Oh, and here. And mostly just there to remind me to drill there. Okay, so ground 12 volts into the buck, 12 volts sitting on this network here on the drain. This looks a little swirly. Let's just do this guy. There, like that. That's better. Actually, I'd probably do the same thing here. Just because we can. You know? Just because we can. Like, just literally because I think it's cool. Literally no other reason. We can't get away with that much there on that one, but that's fine. We can still do lots. File save. Okay. So again, let's see here. Try to get this all on there. So 12 volts comes in. Here, network, LED resistor network, drain 10K, ground, TTL in, source ground, TTL in, that's ground. That's switching the E diode to the two 150s on the 5 volts. That's ground. Good. All good. And then this is fine. Neg 3 cap, ground. 15 cap, ground, that on switch ground. Good. That's all split. Good. Yeah, we're good to go. I just prepped the board with some steel wool. I got the double-sided tape on the bottom there. So I just prepped the board here with some steel wool, nice and clean, and got the double-sided tape there. So now we'll attach it to here like so, and then get it in the laser. All right, so we've got our frame in here, doing the top layer, and we're going to adjust this so that we can get basically right there where it's hitting all the edges. All right, and then we'll turn our light on, and gotta plug it in here quick. There, so we got some light going on, and then we'll run the first pass. So here we go. There you have it. First pass, ready to rock. Gonna let this hit a few more times. All right, it's been going down a few, and there we go. We are essentially already through on most of it. Gonna have to let it rock a few more times, but we're essentially there. We might actually be done after this pass, I think. Because what I found too is if it's a little sandy in some spots, I can just go through and scrape it out and we're fine. So then we can flip it over and do the bottom layer. And so just for the record, that was 6 passes. Okay. So that's pretty clean. It's just this stuff at the very end. It's a little sandy, but we can scrape that out. All right, and so I've got the double-sided tape on this side now, and so I've got to make sure I put it in the right way so I end up with my moat on the right side. So again, we're just going to turn the light off, frame this in here. We got the moat on the right side. Our image is flipped. We should be good. There we go. We're bang on. And we're going to turn the light on here. Okay, we're ready to go. We're going to hit start. Here it goes. There it goes. Moat is in the perfect spot. Then our -3 rail trace should be next, over to the right side more. I guess when it's flipped, it'll be on the left side. So we'll see that coming up here shortly. Or more in the center, I guess. That's fine. But yeah, there it is. Right, and so that's why I try to have the most copper possible on the board, because that means it's going to be doing the most moving and it can get past the board. It can do one pass quicker, right? You can see how fast it did that one pass, right? So I'm going to let this do another few passes and then I'll check in on it again. I've got the board, the logic domain side, and the isolated power supply set up here now. All the vias are drilled. Drive signal in, auxiliary power. My gate drive voltages are there, the bipolar 15 and -3. So I'll switch the camera over and I'll show you what I got here. LED's on, 12 volts is in, and so you'll see on the meter here. So on this side of the gate driver, 16.3, and on this side, -3.4. So that's all set up good, and our drive signal is there. So this is all working good so far. All right, let's see what we can do.